Hey, I should say hey first. I should say hello. Hi. If you are new here, my name is Trina O'Gorman, and if you are returning, thank you for joining me again. So, I speak on this probably far too often, but I'm going to talk about it one more time because it just pisses me off, and I just feel like I can't stop talking about it. So, my big question is, when did personal writing and productivity, like planning, task management, when did that become an arts and craft project? When? I just poured all my stuff out to show you how much shit I have accumulated over the years. It gives me anxiety because it's just too much stuff. So I'm in the process of getting rid of a lot of that. I used to pride myself on my personal writing practice, on my creativity with personal writing, and my productivity, keeping track of the things that I wanted to achieve and achieving my goals. And then, because of social media, it became about like what I had and what it looked like. It felt like being in middle school, wanting to have the same Guess jeans that all the other girls had, or wanting my handbag, my Les Sportsac handbag, to look like everybody else's Les Sportsac handbag, like wanting to fit in. And I'm wondering, like, is that what we're doing here? And then there's another, like, side of me that really has an issue with women wasting so much time trying to prettify their notes. And I feel like, I'm going to come out and say it, I feel like it's a certain demographic of women who are doing this. It gives like affluence and time to waste, right? Like, I have time to spend making a layout to write about the fact that I have to do laundry. Because for the rest of us, like, I'm a solo parent because we were divorced and then my ex-husband passed away. So I'm a solo parent. I am a professional. I have a lot on my plate. I have a lot on my mind. I consider myself a very productive, proactive sort of person. And I feel like the whole trend towards creative journaling and planning speaks to this immature aspect of the personality, like the child. And I guess on some level there's nothing wrong with that, right? But on another level, I think that a lot of people take that to the extreme. I think that becomes the main focus for a lot of women. And I feel like with everything that's going on in the world, all of the serious stuff, the politics, the people dying, the rights of people being stripped away. I think about these things, and I think about how important the female presence and female voice is, and how so many of these things that are being streamed and shared on social media are distracting and consuming the resources such as money and time that are irreplaceable and limited. And it just drives me absolutely crazy. And I know people are probably going to tell me to mind my own business and that women have the right to play and express their creative side and like whatever, because I honestly believe that there is something sinister at play. I feel like oftentimes, because the social media is for most of us free, and I feel like anytime something is free, it's too good to be true. And I think that the amount of time and money and energy and focus that women spend on these platforms, on the products that are being promoted, I think that that's intentional. And that this, me talking to you, is a wake-up call. A call to women, all of us collectively, to get it together. To return back to being more focused and more serious on our own futures, our progress, our rights, our lives. Oh, I don't know where that went. For me, journaling, expressive writing, putting things down on paper, it's not necessarily fun. It is a function. It is a practical tool that I use to process my thinking, to know what I'm thinking, to clarify what I am thinking, and then I'm done. And that's not to say that I don't think that like art and creativity have their places. I do. I don't have anything against that, but the excessive time wasting and consumption, that's not the same thing as creativity and playfulness. And when it comes to productivity, bullet journaling and planning as a hobby has to be the biggest waste of time that I have ever seen. That is not planning, and productivity to me are intended to help me get things done. They're intended to help me reach my goals. They are intended to help me to remember things so things don't fall by the wayside. And the amount of money and time that people are throwing away with planning hobbies that, we see and it's eye candy, and then we're like, oh, maybe I should make my planner look like that. No. That is a waste of time and energy. And we need that time and energy. Like, the world needs us to pay attention. The world needs us to be aware, alert, active, proactive, reactive, all of the actives. I keep a master to-do list because I'm in my 50s, so my mind is a sieve. Like, I just forget things. I remember them, and then I forget them almost immediately. So when things come into my mind, I put them on my to-do list, and the list is huge. Usually, or oftentimes, the act of just writing it on the to-do list helps me to remember it. Like, that's step one. But then I review the list regularly. Then on my daily calendar, I list 3 things every day. 3. I list something from my personal life, something from my work, and something from my creative projects. One thing from each of those categories, one big item that I want to accomplish that day. Now, there will be other things that I do during the course of that day, but I'm not a person who's going to write down every little thing that I need to do. But those 3 big things, if I get those big 3 accomplished every day, I'm in a good place. I take a lot of notes, again, because my mind is a sieve. And if I do not put them in that planner, because that's what I'm keeping right now, when it was a notebook, I had to put it in there. Whatever it is that I'm keeping, if it is on a stray piece of paper, I will find it 5 years from now and it will be of no use to me. So I put it in the planner or the agenda or the organizer or the notebook or whatever you want to call it, so I know where it is and I can get it or get to it when I need it. If a calendar item, if a task is time dependent, right? If it needs to be accomplished at a certain time, I need to set an alarm. So I need to put it in my calendar or I need to set a notification. It does not matter if it is written down on a list because I will forget to do it. So I don't even bother putting those things on the list because that would just be doing double the work. I'm going to put it in my calendar so that I get an alert, so that I do it. The older I get, the more I realize that time is limited and that it is precious and that I do not have it to waste. And so, yeah, I just wanted to talk about that because it was pissing me off. It pisses me off because it is sold to women and women defend it. And I get it. I know we're tired. I know we're tired and I know we're stressed out and I know we're disappointed and I know we are fed up. I get it. I get it. I get it. I get it. But we can't stick our heads in the mud. Is it in the sand? Anyway, we can't stick our heads in the earth, right? Because our attention is needed. And that's really all I have to say right now. And it's probably going to start some mess. I don't know. Maybe I don't care. Maybe I do care. I don't know. But I think it's important. And I also think it's important for young people too. I teach at a university and I would never want for the young people that I teach, the ones that need to write in order to work through the tough things that they're going through, I would never want them to think that their writing has to look, beautiful or in any kind of way in order for it to matter, in order for it to be helpful. I would never want to share that message with them or convey that message or give them that impression. I find that to be so unhelpful. and so immature that, ugh. Anyway, so take it for what it's worth. I know that not everybody is going to agree with it, and I really don't care because I'm not out there for everybody to agree with me. I'm really not. In fact, I think sometimes my opinion is unpopular because it's not popular, and I think sometimes hard work is not popular, and I think sometimes serious work is not popular, but I oftentimes think that's what needs to be done. So I'm going to leave it at that. I don't even know what to title this because it was just all over the place, but I think it had a bottom line, right? I think I had a message. Have a good one, and we'll chat soon. Bye.